Hi, not your average netizens, listeners, or I guess watchers in this case. I guess we can finally put a name to the face, or face to the name. I'm Tim. I also go by Murdy on the podcast and on LiveJournal on Amona, and specifically, you may know me as Dicks Like Jesus. Um, I have been in K-pop for quite a while now. I wouldn't say that I'm the biggest fan, but I do enjoy it. I do like a lot of the people that I've met through it. That's part of the reason that I'm still in it. Mostly the people, not necessarily the music, though there are some groups that I really do like. If you have listened to the podcast, I'm sure you've heard me speak about groups that I like. Um, I would say that I'm pretty opinionated. Some people say that I interrupt people. I guess that kind of happens for everybody. But today, I guess I'm trying to reach out and do something new because, and it was mostly to Asher's suggestion, but I do have a very, very, very fierce problem with the new Stellar music video. And because I will not be on the podcast for a couple weeks, I'll be going on vacation. And we have now opened our new YouTube channel to do reviews and things like that. I guess this is kind of going to be an outlet for people as well to rant, and I guess I'm the first, which I suppose is fitting since I've gone on plenty of rants on the podcast. Now, I watched this video a couple of times. The first time I watched it, I was absolutely furious. I mean, I cannot tell you enough times how upset I was watching this music video. Um, Now, a lot of people who probably have heard me on the podcast know, I'm clearly, well, I guess I shouldn't say clearly, that doesn't make sense. I am I identify as a straight man. Um, I do enjoy females in K-pop. I'm not really ashamed of it. I think it's perfectly fair to like the people that you're watching and find them pretty or whatever. I think plenty of them are talented. Some of my most favorite females are my favorite because they are talented. For example, my favorite female singer, without a doubt, is Ailey. She's very beautiful, but she is incredibly, incredibly talented. Um, I don't think there's any denying her incredible level of talent. Her vocal ability is ridiculous, and while she may not be the best dancer, she does try very hard, which I appreciate. But her vocal ability is like to die for, right? So, um, and I am not ashamed to say that male gaze doesn't bother me. I think in the world that we live in K-pop as it is, in music as it is, you need to kind of understand what you're getting when you go into this package. I do understand that female groups cater to the audience that is going to watch them more, which are the male audience in general. Women in, well, I shouldn't call them women, females and kids, the girls essentially. It's a much younger population that watches K-pop and supports K-pop, in Korea. They're not necessarily the biggest fans of girl groups. Typically, it is generally why you don't see girl groups as successful as you do male groups. Though there are girl groups that break that trend clearly. SNSD, Super Junior, 2NE1, Wonder Girls did it. There's plenty of girl groups that have a very large fan base, but if you wanted to make an example, Sister, which is considered a very successful female group, does not have the same kind of following that any of their male counterparts that are as large as them do. It's just a matter of the audience that makes up the general K-pop population. So it is something that you do need to walk into knowing you're going to get. You should know that you're going to get male gaze. You should know that the focus of most music videos will be on guys or catering towards a male audience. I do think at times it sucks. At the same time, I mean, what are you supposed to do, right? We can't change the world with K-pop. I think it's kind of a lofty goal to go for. So you should just kind of enjoy it, take it for what it is. There are plenty of people that I have met that do enjoy that female groups are sexier, things like that. There was a time where all female groups were very cutesy, and if cutesy doesn't really bother you, I get that, but one of the things that irked me about cutesy is that it was done for, like, older guys, and that I don't know, like the fact that they were trying, like most of the cute groups had a bunch of uncle fans. I don't know. For me, that bothers me, but I'm kind of getting off the point. The point is the stellar music video. Now, like I said, the first time I watched it, I was furious. I mean, I'm not mad at the girls because I don't think that they had any part in this. I'm mad at the director, who I have a lot of respect for. I do. They have made some other girl group music videos that have been heavy on imagery, and I think their imagery is very good. I mean, the way they hit imagery is very impressive. But here they just went way too far and way into left field and stuff that I don't like. Um, and I'm really upset with their label. Mostly their label. I think that their label's general grossness is kind of painted all over this music video. I don't even know where to start. I mean, like I said, I watched the first time I watched it, furious. I watched it a couple more times because I really wanted to try and relax from how angry I was. And this is part of the reason that I didn't even attempt this video until today. I took a whole day and kind of settled on it because I was mad. I mean, if the podcast had been that day, it would have just been me, very angry. And I try not to bring that too often, but I'm very upset. And it's not. I mean, it is. I should hit first the male gaze, because the male gaze kind of is what you get first. Now, I expect it from a stellar music video at this point. They've kind of come to this point in their career where their market is sort of pushing the limits of 19 plus. And I mean, that kind of bothers me because I actually do think that their music is pretty good. Excuse me, I think Mask is a good song. I even think Vibrato, just from hearing it, I've only seen some of the lyrics translations. I'm kind of waiting for a little bit of a better one, but the sound of the song is pretty good. I mean, it's a jam. It's not as good as Hurt Locker, in my opinion, by Nine Muses that came out this summer, but it's probably like second place and like battling for first at times. You know, I think the song sounds very good, but that's it. That's the only redeeming quality, and it's frustrating because like these girls clearly work very hard and they're putting themselves on the line doing stuff like this. But the male gaze part was really unnecessary. Again, like I said, I understand that it's going to happen, and I understand that it's catering towards my audience, but I don't want that. I don't have a problem with people, you know, taking butt shots or whatever. Down the shirt kind of bothers me. It's just tacky. I don't really like that. The one thing that bothers me a lot, though, is when you have a camera and it is like the girl sitting on it. Like, this is your camera, right? And this is her butt. I guess this is the camera and this is her butt. I don't need to know anybody this intimately. Like, unless we're dating, don't ever get this intimate with me. I don't want to see it. I don't care who you are. No. Your butt and a camera should never be like, I don't want that. I do not want it. Like, sitting on my face with a glass mirror or like a glass window, there's no need for this, and I don't need it in a music video, and I don't need to see it every single time this music video comes on. I don't want it, and I don't need it. It's incredibly unnecessary. Like, it's gross, first off. Not that she's gross, but that idea of a camera being there, of her having to do that, is very gross. Like, you can't get around how gross that is. I couldn't get around the grossness to be like, oh, well, she's hot, though. No, I can't do that. I mean, maybe some people can. I can't do that. It's just gross. Don't do that to me. There's other moments, too. Like, that's the one that really stands out to me. That's the one that's really bad. There's other moments, though, the camera kind of goes all over. You get more of those sort of butt shots. None are as blatant as the one where, the one I'm talking about, and you kind of have to watch the music video. I don't have a timestamp. And I don't have video editing skills to be like, here it is, and then bam, you know? And I also wouldn't do that because I think it's gross and I don't want to support it. But the thing that bothers me the most is the imagery for vaginas and things like that. Now, there's one image that kind of makes a lot of sense. There is a cactus that's basically used as a penis. A cactus is pretty phallic. It's also painful, and in the way they're trying to describe it, it seems like it's sort of the tale of a girl losing her virginity is sort of the way I got it. I mean, if you think differently, please, like, explain. But for me, what I got from it was it's like sort of a tale of a girl losing her virginity, which is why the end makes me so furious, and I'll get to that. But showing the phallic object as very painful and bloody kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. It still bothers me. I don't. I don't like the idea that losing your virginity is such a, I don't know what word you would use. Um, because I don't think the word deflowering is that good, but I also don't think it's great. A friend of mine brought up the fact that Galen made it sound like you bloom when you lose your virginity or whatever, when you become a sexually active creature, which for some people who obviously want to be sexually active, that's probably accurate. So I think that's probably a good way to look at it, but when you make it look just painful and like you're kind of ruined afterwards, there's nothing good about that. There's no way to paint that properly. And the like, I don't know, the imagery would have been so good. Even then, even with that, I could have dealt with that. When they used like the zipper on a purse and things like that to be symbols of like a vagina, the sideways mouth, the one where the girl opens her hands and there's a flower is kind of good. If you took only that and nothing else occurred, I'd be like, okay, well, that's kind of clever, you know. Unfortunately, in the midst of everything else that went on in that music video, it's not good. God, I don't know. I think they tried to use this director's great, or this company's great ability at imagery. They're very good at making you think when you see things, and I like that. Just unfortunately, what they wanted to portray is just vaginas, and that's fine when you portray it as like a beautiful thing instead of making people feel gross. And I think that's what bothers me is there's so many people who commented and they weren't mad. They were uncomfortable. And as I watched it a couple times, that's what it became, was I'm uncomfortable watching this. I'm not mad anymore. I'm uncomfortable. And there is no world that we live in where a music video that is not like some sort of horror concept or I don't know, trying to show awareness to something should make you feel uncomfortable. Even when you show awareness, I don't agree with awareness being uncomfortable. I will always side on the fact that making people aware, it's better to either be blunt and honest, and that's it, not go with the intent to make people uncomfortable, but just to make them aware. Or to, if you're going to use entertainment, you have to make it funny. I think making things funny makes people talk about these things. And I know a lot of people have a problem with comedy, and that's fine, and it's a matter of personal opinion. But I personally think comedy does way more good than making people uncomfortable, because when people are uncomfortable, they don't want to talk about it. They're just uncomfortable, and that's it. Unless they're uncomfortable not intentionally. Like if you make a documentary and it just makes people uncomfortable because of how real it is, that's totally different. You're not going in with the intent to make people uncomfortable. You are making this documentary to teach people something, and that's fine. This music video is none of those things, and it makes you uncomfortable, and that's wrong. And that's the only way you can look at it. It's just wrong. There's no right. There's no redeeming factor anymore in this music video. Like, the male gaze thing was bad enough. The dance, the choreo that you get to see is garbage, and it's just clearly done to be sexual. The air hump on the floor, like, can we get over this? It's not attractive, first off. It's not. You know, the first couple times you saw it, it was taboo and cool, right? I guess. You know, that's kind of my feelings on it before when I was younger. I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, this taboo, it's cool. But everybody grows up, I grew up, other people are going to grow up and realize it's not cool. Humping the floor has never been cool. It's not cool when guys do it, it's not cool when girls do it, it's just not cool. First off, it's weird. Don't tell me humping the floor is attractive. It's weird. Secondly, it's way skeezy when it's not skeezy, that's not the word. It's like uncomfortable when girls do it, and they don't look like they want to do it, if that makes sense. If you are owning what you do, you can do whatever you want. I mean, as long as you own it, as long as you believe highly in what you're doing, if you're proud of what you're doing, then I don't care what you're doing as long as you're not hurting anybody. You're not going out of your way to offend anybody. You're not going out of your way, or you're not being racist or anything like that. If what you like doing is being sexy and having sex appeal, and that's what you're proud of, and that's what you're good at, and that's what you're comfortable doing, go do it. Boy, girl, whatever you are, just enjoy it. Love it. That's fine. That's attractive. Like, you don't have to try because you exude what you're trying to accomplish. Girls who are very cute naturally and are like, oh, I'm just going to own my cute, whatever, those are actually cute. When girls are forced into a cute concept that they don't want, it's not cute. Luckily, I think people are probably more comfortable doing cute than they are doing sexy. Thank God, I guess. I wouldn't say thank God. That's wrong. Because I think people should be comfortable with their sexuality if they choose to be. But I digress. This one is like that moment where you know, and we've heard that this group doesn't really like to do sexy images very much. Well, the majority, I should say. I think somebody did point out that one of the girls does enjoy it, or they enjoy having a mature image, but they think the sexy crosses the line. I'm not sure what the actual comment was, but either way, it's different when you own it. When you believe in what you're doing and you want to do it, it's fine. But these girls, we know, or if you take the time to look into them, you know that they kind of think that their image crosses a line, even at Marionette, which was the video that kind of put them on the map, and this video is worse. I mean, there's no comparison. Like, the Marionette video got heat for like a butt rub and the imagery of like a girl drinking milk and then it dripping on her chest and then the blatant like boob shot, and that was bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really care for that music video either. It's another music video where I think the song is pretty good, but unfortunately the music video is ridiculous. But this one, the image that bothers me the most, and I watch a lot of K-pop, I watch a lot of music videos, I watch a lot of the releases, watch a lot of stuff that makes people uncomfortable, because I have to know for myself. The only time in a long time that I've flinched in K-pop was the very ending scene where it is a cracked open watermelon with like the watermelon guts, that's the way I can describe it, falling out, and it's clearly an image that is supposed to represent like a vagina, but it's like busted, like a busted open one. And because the whole rest of the song seems like a song about losing your virginity, it makes it seem like if you lose your virginity, that's it, your vagina's done. Like, it's a one-hitter quitter, and that's it, and girls are gross afterwards. And, like, I know for a fact that there are people in this world that believe that. There are girls that believe that, and there are dudes that believe that. There are guys that only want to date a virgin because, you know, they don't want some other guy to have tainted her, blah. And there's girls who want to save themselves, not just because it makes them happy or that's what they want at the end, but because they don't think they'll be worth anything if they lose their virginity. And that is crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's what makes me the most uncomfortable. And I don't know. I mean, somebody okayed this. Somebody said, like, yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be a good time. And it's not. I mean, it's uncomfortable. It makes people visibly react to it negatively. And you know, it's got like 1,000,000 something views, and there's a bunch of people talking about it like it's great, and it's not. I mean, you're entitled to like what you want to like. Fine. But I'm also entitled to tell you that you're wrong. And anybody who likes that music video, you're wrong. That's it. I mean, if you think that music video is fine and it's all great and dandy, you live in a wonderful, pink, beautiful butterfly world where nobody's doing things that they don't want to do. And, you know, you can just be sexy and everybody should know that you wanted to do this and stuff. But that's not the world that we live in. That's not the world that these girls live in. That's not the world that I live in. That's not the world that most people who see what's wrong with this live in. And that is damn sure not the world where that busted vagina watermelon came from. It came from a bad, terrible place where people genuinely believe that you lose value because you have decided to become sexually active or anything like that. And that is not the case. You can do what you want to do. You can live the way that you want to live. Your value is not dependent on what other people think of you. And I'm not going to sit here and stand on a podium like some kind of like I'm here to get some sort of attention for believing that women should be equal, because I wouldn't just say that I'm a feminist. I would say that I'm a human being who believes that we're all human beings and we're all equal and we can all be beautiful butterflies as much as we want to be, regardless of your race, gender, anything, your sexuality, all of that. It doesn't matter to me, because you're just a person, just like I'm a person, just like he's a person, she's a person. Everybody's just a person. I have a 6-year-old son. He turned 6, July 6th. He is my everything, really, and I want him to have something to look back on, and I want him to grow up in a place where things are better and people don't look at other people losing value because they've chosen to live their life the way they want to live it. That's just the number one thing for me. I don't want my son to believe that he'll ever lose value, and I never ever want to hear him think that a girl loses her value because of the things that she wants to do with her body. It's her body, it's not his. It's not his choice, it's not my choice, it's her choice. It's no one else's but this one person. And the way she decides to live her life, the way he decides to live his life, is totally on them. And it's only our job to guide people, to tell people, hey, this is wrong. When you're young and you don't know and you can't learn for yourself, that's what we should be here to do. These videos like this and imagery like this, and when things like this go popular, go viral, and they're just negative, there's nothing good from that. And it sucks because these girls weren't successful before they decided to change their sexy image, and now they're controversially successful. Like, people know them because they push the borders, and that's not really success either. And they're talented. They're very good. And it's not their fault. But it comes to that moment where you have to wonder, how do you support them? How do I justify supporting these girls when I disagree with everything that their music video stands for, and it's not their fault? It's their label's fault, but how do I support them and not support their label? And I mean, that's the $1 million question, I guess. And I don't have an answer. I mean, if you're watching this hoping that I had an answer at the end of it, I don't. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just mad, and I hope that some part of my rant makes sense. I don't know. It bothers me, and I don't like it. I don't like going into something that I watch just for entertainment, just to enjoy myself, just to relax. I don't like going into it and being mad. I don't like being frustrated. I don't like being offended by just a couple girls like dancing around and singing. Like, it's supposed to make people happy. We're supposed to go in and be happy and have a good time, and we just don't. I mean, that's not the world we live in. We live in this world where we have to deal with this constant racism, constant colorism, constant ignorance, and I don't mean ignorance like people are, dumb or whatever you want to call it. I mean ignorant as in like they're genuinely ignorant to what they're saying. They're just saying things, and it's almost more harmful to be ignorant and use words that you don't understand than it is to be openly racist or know what the power of the words you're using and still using them, because those people are terrible people, and you can call them terrible people, and we can be upset at them, we can punish them for what they're doing, but when you have somebody who's ignorant, all you can do is teach them and hope that they listen, and you could waste so much time and effort trying to teach somebody. And somebody who's ignorant can run around and just hurt people without knowing that they're doing it. It's so much harder to accidentally hurt somebody than it is to hurt somebody on purpose, because once you have taken the decision to hurt people, then you're already a terrible person, and that's it. I mean, you have to just hope. We have to hope as a unit that you, I don't know, find a redeeming factor about yourself, or you get put in a position where you have to learn to be better. But people who are ignorant don't know that they're hurting people, and that's way more dangerous. And I don't know if these people that made this music video didn't realize how much this is going to hurt people, how offended people are going to be, how upset and uncomfortable people are going to be. But they should have, you know. And all I can say is shame on them. I mean, honestly, shame on them. So I guess that's it. I don't know. I hope some part of this is good. I expect all the flame and all the bad comments and all that good stuff. I know that there's going to be plenty of people who are going to bring up the fact that I did use, or well, I shouldn't say I did, that I do support male gaze in some cases, and there's some, you know, artists that I fanboy and all that stuff, and you know what, you can do that, and that's fine, and that's true. But I know where I stand on things. I know where I think something is way too much, and this is too much. And everybody gets pushed to a limit, and eventually everybody breaks. I've really come down off of that. I probably support more dude groups than I do female groups, and it's mostly because I find that my love for male gaze was very immature. Not to say that I dislike it at this point, but in some cases I gave people passes when they didn't deserve one, or people pushed the line and I said it was okay. And I am constantly trying to better myself, both as a person, as a podcaster, but in general as a human being and for myself. So, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel. That's kind of why I made this. You can please reach out to me, talk to me. I would love to hear from you guys and hear how you feel about it. But you know, I don't know. I'm where I'm at. I'm kind of in my feels about it. I mean, I'll be honest. It really does upset me. So let's be a little professional. So thank you for watching. If you are more interested in Not Your Average Netizens and what we have to say and what I have to say, you can find us at notyouraveragenetizens.squarespace.com. Sorry about that. Our Tumblr is also notyouraveragenetizens.tumblr.com. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/notyouraveragenetizens. If you listen to our podcast on iTunes, you can find us on SoundCloud if that's easier for you, soundcloud.com/notyouraveragenetizens. If you're on SoundCloud and that's where you listen to us, then luckily for you, you can subscribe to us on iTunes and rate us and give us stars, and we can hopefully catch your comment in time to read it when it's still relevant. And you can find us by searching Not Your Average Netizens. If you have any suggestions, if you want to reach out to us, talk about if you like this video, if you like these video things, maybe I can make it kind of a, kind of a common thing, and other people hopefully. You can email us at notyouraveragenetizens@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, even if it's negative. You know, if you want to say a bunch of salty things about me, that's fine. I mean, that's where you can hit us, and that's what it's there for, and we'll address it. You can also find us on Twitter at NYA-Netizens. That's NETIZENS. So, yeah, thanks for sticking through it. If you made it through all, like, almost 30 minutes of this rant that I feel like I went all over the place with, I'll try to be more organized next time. Like I said, it's my first time making one of these. But I just wanted to get it off my chest before I left. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I mean, honestly, try to enjoy all the things in life that you can. You know, enjoy K-pop. Find where you're happy. Everybody in the world is problematic. So you're never going to find the perfect golden child. They don't exist. But at least try and be happy. Realize what's wrong. Call people on what's wrong. And more importantly, just try and be happy. I mean, some people just can't deal with the stress of everything being negative, and I don't blame you. I mean, I don't even like to watch the news anymore because it just seems like everything is somebody's been killed, and you know, everything's full of, there's so much racism and so many other big problems going on. And especially if you don't have the mindset to go out there and tackle it, and a lot of people don't. I mean, everybody, you know, says you should be on your soapbox, but it's hard. It's really hard for a lot of people to soapbox and get their point across. You know, maybe they're caught in their feelings, or they don't think they can articulate themselves, and they think they're going to do more harm than good. You have to respect that. And some people would just rather live knowing that the world is bad, but they want to try to make the best of every single day. And there's nothing wrong with being optimistic. So I encourage you to attempt to be optimistic, to try to make the best of every day, and don't support this music video. I mean, just don't. I'm sorry. That's where it comes down to at the end. So again, this is Tim, also Murdy. You can also get at me at Papa Murdy on Twitter. Yeah, thanks.